The mosque behind me is actually called Bait Rahman, and it is one of the key landmarks here in Banda Aceh. So I figured, hey, when in Rome, firefighters are comfortable in saying that this 40-acre blaze is out. What the Tulare County delegation is hoping is that the president will make that emergency declaration call in a matter of weeks and not months. You can see there are actually gunshot holes in the windshield. If you follow me around, you can't tell exactly where that distribution plant was because the trucks and debris are scattered all over the place. Right now, the rain is very consistent. The rain is extremely steady, and it stings as it's hitting. Big fan?
No, not at all.
It's nothing compared to up top, which is one of the most dangerous working conditions in the entire world. It's hard to believe that a city this size was affected at all by the events all the way up in Banda Aceh. Right now, we are in the eye of Hurricane Wilma. This is our third pass into the eye.
The majesty of Sequoia Kings Canyon National Park experienced in a whole new light.
It is very delicate. Yes.
Is that the wind or highway traffic? I can't tell.
I don't think that's hot. Well,
No, I think it's wind.
Pam Drake and Dave McElroy have been blind since birth, but that does not stop them from getting out and enjoying life.
I have to keep going because if I don't keep going, I won't, and that's not acceptable.
In 6th grade, Pam learned about the giant sequoia trees, and though she has never been able to see a picture of one, she has chosen to experience it firsthand.
see, you can tell that it's a big thinner. They're talking about the thin, spiry.
Spiry.
That's solid. That's what I expected.
The Visalia couple has taken the Sequoia shuttle to come to the park for the same reason everyone else does, to experience the beauty.
I'm one who's always been one to push the envelope of blindness and maybe by default the envelope of life, or maybe it's the other way around.
As a result, Pam and Dave lead a rich and fulfilling life, even though there are challenges everywhere. From ordering food,
spicy chicken sandwich,
to paying for services,
I learned my signature as memorized movements. I've never seen my signature.
and even getting acquainted with a hotel room.
Okay, this is an open screen. Good. Okay.
And using each other's strength, they do more than just get by.
Attractive land.
But hiking trails on the ground is not where this tale ends. Pam and Dave, in true form, have decided to climb Morrow Rock, a hike that is even difficult for some sighted people.
If I keep my hands on the rock, or maybe not my hands, but my cane.
And overcoming the obstacles for them is worth it, they say, because the view from up here is great.
I sense, I feel, yes, I would have to say I see in perhaps not the same way you do, but certainly in the way I do, and that's the important thing. It's after all, it's a subjective viewpoint.
The Fresno County Magic Team responds quickly to a shooting call at this house in Reedley.
They found the victim inside the residence with a single gunshot wound to his face.
But the shooter got away and went to extreme measures to not get caught.
The suspect had fled the scene. He set a fire to a field approximately 1/2 mile from the original crime scene.
Just down from the fire, the shooter is seen running into an orchard. And the Fresno County Magic Unit starts the chase. The sheriff's helicopter responds, the canine units approach, and he is surrounded.
Put your hands up! Yeah, keep walking, keep walking. Top? Yeah, thank you. Need one for rest.
At this point, the suspected shooter is taken into custody, and the public is safe from any more danger, except there's still a weapon out there.
Are you where the weapon is?
But with the help of the Fresno County Sheriff's Department Canine Unit, the gun was found just a short distance from where the suspect was arrested. From a shooting to a fire to fleeing the police to a gun found, this suspect is going to have some explaining to do. In Reedley, Sean Thomas, KMPH News. United States aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan, by any standards, is an impressive ship.
Just this ship, the USS Ronald Reagan, is over 1,000 feet long, 100,000 tons, and a flight deck of 4.5 acres.
And a ship that size certainly isn't easy to steer.
It's really difficult. You have to be really sharp on your on your courses. You have to hit every course, and it's pretty intense up here on the bridge, driving in and out.
We are moving more than the Empire State Building around with this ship.
So who's in charge of the Ronald Reagan? A local boy.
I grew up in the Navy, basically. My dad was an A-7 pilot in Lemoore, and that's kind of where I decided that someday I wanted to be in the Navy and I wanted to fly, and that's exactly what I ended up doing.
More than flying jets, Captain Kraft is in charge of a ship that has everything from its own TV station, a weather team, and much, much more. The Reagan is a busy place.
You got a huge cast of other folks that are down in the hangar bay, technicians, sailors working on the aircraft, getting them ready to go.
Right now we're in hangar deck 3. They're very busy here getting all of this equipment ready to offload for the homecoming tomorrow. In fact, these helicopters are getting ready to take them up to the flight deck. But as busy as it is down here, it's nothing compared to up top, which is one of the most dangerous working conditions in the entire world.
It's no place to daydream, I can tell you that right now. You got a bunch of other folks up on the flight deck that are positioning the airplanes, putting the final touches on them to get ready to go. You got tons of folks on the ship that are getting catapults ready to shoot the aircraft off of there. You got a tower full of people up there on the bridge and in the control tower that are preparing to launch and recover those airplanes. And if you have a break in any one of those, that chain of events, we can't do anything of what we do without everybody working in concert.
And the ship's CO isn't the only local connection to the Central Valley.
All the West Coast F-18 squadrons in the United States Navy are based there at Lemoore.
So what's it like to actually launch off the deck of a ship?
Shot off the front end in, I guess, 2 seconds you get to about 120-ish miles an hour. So it just kicks you back in the seat, your legs come up off the floor a little bit, and wherever your head was at the time, that's where it stays. So, but it's awesome.
I love my job. It's great. It's the best thing I could think about doing.
A job that is much appreciated.
Over 5,000 great Americans on board every single day. And these folks, many of them single parents, dropped everything they were doing to come out here and deploy, and I think fill a very needed role in the Pacific.
Well, no, they're all but done.
Whether it's making kids pour out their beer,
How are you doing this evening?
or stopping people at routine checkpoints, the Fresno Police Department has a clear message.
I want you to come out here because I'm going to have you do a few tests. Okay. Because you've been drinking a little bit, and I want to make sure that you're not driving under the influence.
It is not okay to drink and drive.
A good person gets behind the wheel and gets on the road and starts driving, they become a criminal. And a lot of people don't like to think themselves as criminals, but that's exactly what they are.
But to make that determination, there are some basic tests police use to determine sobriety.
I haven't said my ABCs in a while, so.
Other tests include walking the line, following the finger, touching your finger to your nose, and of course, a blood test or breathalyzer. And if you've been drinking, this all leads up to...
Okay, Ronnie, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you for law.
And as cars are impounded, the big picture of what just happened starts to set in.
His vehicle is being impounded at this time, and his registration shows expired in October of this past year, 06, and he's going to have to pay the impound fees, which are usually around $294, but prior to that, he must go to the DMV to pay his registration before he can get a release from the police department.
In fact, the California Department of Motor Vehicles says if you add up vehicle towing, storage, and booking costs, license reinstatement fees, insurance increases, DUI fines, court assessments, victim and education funds, impact sessions, time payment charges, and public transportation charges, the minimum for a DUI will cost you more than $8,000.
Everything paid, I'd say it's easily in the $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 range. And that which has to be paid right out within a 7-month period.
A cost that police say can easily be avoided.
Taxi costs you $20 and it'll save you thousands.